Oh, there it is. Hello, 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 everyone. Anger. Wow, here we go. So, just had this really amazing working with, in this moment, a very visceral, somatic thing going on. I was just working with a client before this on boundaries, some deep, deep, deep boundary work. And as we're wrapping up the session, like this huge cough came up. Felt like something in the back of my throat, like gnarly. And they were a coach also, so the session was done, so we got to work a little bit, and it was just like, wow, a lot of boundaries work is very alive for me personally, so I love sharing about it. And then I'm thinking, geez, is this something before anger today? So, wow, we're gonna take it very easy today. Let's take a moment and just build that container of safety here for doing some anger work, some anger exploration, having an anger conversation. Knowing, feeling, bringing in, embodying that whatever we feel or have sensations is okay. Knowing, feeling, embodying that we are safe and we're getting safer on all the levels, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Creating that safety for ourselves, safety to access anger or whatever we need to access, and safety for this exploration and conversation today. I know I need it, whatever the heck was going on for me there momentarily right before this. Anyways, wanted to start with just a couple of distinctions before we really look at the anger, and that is separating anger from rage. Rage is that white hot, often overwhelming or close to overwhelming, hard to manage, just sort of searing. Whereas anger, we say, can be on the positive spectrum. We can channel it, use it, right? And of course, there's righteous anger. We'll talk about that in a moment, but we want to separate that out and make the also huge distinction. Aggression is not okay. Can't think of ever a time where aggression is okay. And this goes out to all of my brothers especially, and sisters too. Aggression, not okay. Anger, we say, is okay. Very clear, hard line, speaking of boundary work. Aggression, not okay. Just want to be clear on that, because as spiritual folks, sometimes we can bypass, or anger can have a bad rap. Excuse me. Oh, we're enlightened and we're in the love light bliss. I've transcended anger. Well, I want to put forth today, from at least my experience in the dark room, that anger, I'm going to say, is a good thing. Can be a good thing and can certainly be used. For example, if there's a betrayal or agreements are broken. If you're not angry, I'm wondering if there's something wrong with you, right? It's normal to be angry. What we do with the anger is what's important, right? And I was thinking about it today before this little discussion, developmentally, okay? Think about go back to that moment when you were the newborn and you're hungry and mommy's not there. You want to eat. Let's get angry and cry. That's normal. That's right. Hey, I'm hungry. Feed me, right? Hopefully mom is feeding you soon, right? And then up into the terrible twos, when for the first time we're individuating and separating. creating some of our first boundaries, saying no and not getting our way. You can be angry. Fine to be angry, right? And then as a little child, on the playground, not wanting to share your toy. Hey, my toy. Someone's being mean to you. Yeah, get angry. The question is, what do we do with it? What do we do with our anger? Does it go down towards blame or shame? Did our parents guilt us for having anger? Did our parents shush us? Certainly society, for all my sisters out there, generally tell us it's not okay to be angry. It's not okay to express your anger. Kind of okay for guys. Oh yeah, guys can go, fight and go to war and, get all that sick aggression I was talking about earlier, but it's not ladylike for women to be angry. So there's a lot of minefields around anger. And this being the dark room deepening discussions, I'm happy to share a little bit personally. My 12 days, I was surprised at how much anger came up for me. I've been telling the story, I've been working on anger for decades. I remember really diving in when I was like in acting class way, way long ago. Let's just say 2001, okay? 2001, I grab a bat and I'm wailing and screaming away, and the teacher's like, wow, Prasad, great work getting in touch with your anger. That's the most alive I've seen you. That was my first time getting into it. 2001, that was decades ago. I've been working on anger for decades. And men's work, we work a lot on getting the anger out. The masculine is a ton of anger in us, and the feminine too, a ton of anger. So I thought, I had the anger thing down. Then here I am in the darkroom retreat. This huge upswell of anger. And as often happens when I get triggered, I was actually grateful. Like, oh, cool, some more work to do, some more things to release. This was generally at a couple certain people in my life. And also, this is where it can get really healthy and really constructive working with anger. How I was angry at myself for not having good boundaries with these people. So I was beating myself up a little bit, getting really angry with myself. And it got so out of control for a little while that I was even angry at God for a while. And that's really funny. I mean, good luck with that, being angry at God, right? So luckily in the dark room, I got to do a lot of processing, use all of the techniques that I've picked up through these years, breath work and yoga and amongst other things, bring myself down and say, okay, what's the opportunity here with anger, right? Because generally, anger comes from some injustice. Humans are hardwired for fairness. So when there's not fairness, we get angry. And it's okay. If we're not aggressive, we don't cross the line into rage, I'm going to petition strongly that anger is okay if we can channel it, use it, funnel it, and transform from it. Right? Because the last caution for today is if we don't, and I'm not sure, I must have heard this somewhere, so if anyone knows who gets the credit for this, please, I can't take credit, but a lot of time lately, these last couple years, I'm working with a lot of couples, been really diving into how if we don't take care of anger, we just repress it or suppress it, it calcifies and becomes resentment. And resentment kills relationships. Resentment is just like the reddest, brightest red flag. Folks, my beloved spiritual seekers, please, please, please join me in putting an end to resentment, or using the resentment to move into healing, to find the spots. Okay, what made me angry? Because once it calcifies, we're in a tough way. And I'm thinking of Louise L. Hay, even worse for ourselves when I was talking about that self-anger earlier. The resentment lands in our body, can turn into cancer and other bad things. No bueno. So let's work with our anger in healthy ways. Move it, have talks about it, right? Let it out in good ways. Like tomorrow we have soul's breath work. Awesome, breathing it out, moving through it, lots of healthy ways. So let's keep getting together, moving through the anger, working with the anger, channeling it, using it, and being good spiritual folks, not judging it. There's gifts. So, thanking me with this anger exploration. Please, let's keep these discussions going. Come on over to Zoom these next number of days. Tomorrow, we're going to look at boredom versus restlessness, and that should be a good topic to dive into. Okay, much love, everyone. Much, much love.